the next trillion-dollar industries you're ignoring. In the shadows of tech giants and traditional finance, entirely new industries are quietly rising. Industries that could mint the next wave of trillion-dollar companies. The public isn't paying attention. Most investors are distracted by headlines, hype cycles, and market noise. But the smart money? It's flowing into sectors you probably haven't thought twice about. This video breaks down 7 high-potential industries that are quietly building the future. Industries backed by structural trends, demographics, and unstoppable momentum. Ignore them now, and you risk missing the biggest wealth transfer of this decade. Longevity tech. We're not just talking about living longer. We're talking about living better, longer. Longevity tech combines genetics, biotechnology, and AI to slow, halt, or even reverse aging. Think personalized medicine, senescent cell therapy, DNA reprogramming. Governments and billionaires are already pouring billions into this space. Why? Because aging is the ultimate trillion-dollar problem. The average person spends 60 to 70% of their lifetime healthcare costs in the final decade of life. If we can extend healthy lifespan by just 5 to 10 years, it radically reduces this burden. Beyond medical breakthroughs, there's an ecosystem forming. Longevity supplements, wearable diagnostics, biohacking apps, AI health coaches. Even insurance firms are watching closely. It's no longer science fiction. It's a fast-approaching industry shift that could completely redefine retirement, productivity, and healthcare systems worldwide. And here's what many don't see. This movement will also fuel new sectors. Longevity-focused real estate, nutrition programs tailored to epigenetics, and age-proof workplaces. As health spans extend, people will work longer, spend more, and redefine every life stage, making it an economic multiplier across industries. Precision agriculture and food tech. Food is no longer just about taste or tradition. It's about technology. Precision agriculture uses AI, satellite imaging, and real-time sensors to maximize yield and minimize waste. Meanwhile, lab-grown meat, vertical farming, and molecular food engineering are reshaping how we grow and consume. Why does this matter? Because by 2050, we'll need to feed over 9.7 billion people with less land, less water, and more climate volatility. Traditional farming simply won't cut it. This is where tech-driven agriculture steps in. Food security is becoming a national security issue. Governments are subsidizing innovation. Startups are scaling fast. And investment is pouring into smart irrigation, soil analytics, robotic harvesting, and even AI-generated crop forecasts. The supply chain is also evolving. Blockchain-based food traceability, climate-resilient seed genetics, and AI-driven crop insurance are turning farms into data centers. The future farmer might wear AR glasses, monitor crops with drones, and adjust conditions with an app, maximizing food quality and minimizing environmental impact. Space commercialization. Space is no longer the final frontier. It's the next marketplace. Private companies are redefining how we explore, mine, and monetize the cosmos. We're talking asteroid mining, orbital factories, lunar energy stations, and satellite internet on a planetary scale. Launch costs have dropped by over 90% in the last 2 decades, thanks to companies like SpaceX and Rocket Lab. That means access to space is no longer restricted to governments. Startups and universities are now deploying satellites, building space tech, and exploring microgravity R&D. The long-term play, space tourism, off-world data centers, and mining rare materials that are scarce on Earth. Even cloud computing is being tested in orbit, and what begins in orbit doesn't stay there. Next-gen GPS, global internet coverage, and space-based solar panels could revolutionize life on Earth. Earth observation data is already transforming disaster response, agriculture, and urban planning. Commercial space is not a niche. It's becoming a fundamental layer of global infrastructure. Neurotechnology. The brain is the most complex machine in existence, and we're finally starting to decode it. Neurotech focuses on enhancing, repairing, or directly interfacing with the brain using hardware and software. Brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, allow users to control devices with their thoughts. Treatments for depression, paralysis, PTSD, and even Alzheimer's are being radically transformed. Companies like Neuralink, Synchron, and BlackRock Neurotech are pioneering mind-machine interaction. This isn't just medical, it's behavioral. Imagine brain training to boost learning speed, memory retention, and emotional regulation, or unlocking previously untreatable conditions through non-invasive brain modulation. But the scope stretches even further. Neuromarketing is changing how companies study consumer behavior. Neuro-enhanced creativity tools could change how we write, design, and problem solve. With real-time brain insights, even hiring, therapy, and education systems might be reshaped around individual neural patterns and mental agility. Green hydrogen and clean industrial energy. Everyone's heard about solar and wind, but the real industrial energy revolution may come from green hydrogen. Hydrogen is already used across chemical plants and heavy industry, but it's mostly produced from fossil fuels. Green hydrogen, created through electrolysis powered by renewables, eliminates emissions, and it can store energy, fuel vehicles, power steel manufacturing, and heat buildings. Why is this massive? Because sectors like cement, shipping, aviation, and manufacturing can't be electrified easily. Batteries won't work. Hydrogen will. As prices fall and infrastructure grows, green hydrogen could decarbonize some of the most polluting industries on Earth. Nations like Germany, Japan, and Australia are racing to scale up hydrogen supply chains. Add to that global energy security, countries can produce their own clean hydrogen instead of importing oil. With modular electrolyzers and mobile hydrogen storage, even remote communities and industrial zones could access clean energy. This makes green hydrogen not just green, but geopolitically game-changing. Ambient intelligence and sentient homes. Smart homes were just the beginning. Ambient intelligence refers to environments embedded with AI and sensors that anticipate and respond to human needs without prompting. We're talking walls that track health, lighting that changes with your mood, appliances that schedule themselves, and rooms that understand your routine. It's not just about automation, it's about intuition. Edge AI, IoT convergence, and privacy-preserving chips make this possible. As processing shifts from the cloud to local devices, real-time responsiveness becomes seamless. This isn't about gadgets, it's about environments becoming intelligent. From senior care to wellness, from productivity to mental health, ambient intelligence will be the silent co-pilot of our lives. And the companies building the hardware, software, and standards for these environments, they're creating invisible infrastructure with massive economic upside. Expect entire ecosystems to emerge, from smart walls to adaptive floors, where every surface responds to presence, voice, and need. This will redefine how humans interact with their homes and workplaces permanently. Synthetic biology and programmable life. What if we could program DNA like we program software? That's the core idea of synthetic biology. Designing living organisms to do useful things, from producing materials to fighting diseases. Already, Synbio is creating spider silk without spiders, cheese without cows, and fuel without fossil inputs. Bioreactors are becoming the new factories, growing proteins, enzymes, and molecules to replace industrial processes. The applications are vast: agriculture, medicine, materials science, even fashion. Synbio could replace petrochemical industries, transform food production, and introduce sustainable supply chains. Think of this as the next computing revolution, except the code runs inside cells. It's not just biotech, it's life redesigned. Future wealth hides in emerging maps. Most investors wait for headlines to catch up, but by then, the early stage returns are gone. The biggest wealth waves start quietly and build underneath. Each of these 7 industries is being driven by structural trends: climate pressure, aging populations, digitization, global connectivity, and bioengineering. To play it smart, study the trends, read beyond the headlines, understand why the change is happening, back the picks and shovels. Don't just invest in end products. Look at the tools, platforms, and infrastructure. Stay long. These aren't hype plays, they're decade-long arcs. Play them with patience, not panic. If this deep dive opened your eyes to what's next, let us know in the comments. What industry surprised you most? Smash the like button if you learned something valuable. And if you want more hidden trends, overlooked innovations, and detailed investment breakdowns, hit subscribe. We break down the future before it goes mainstream. Stay early, stay informed, stay bold.